Hey folks, this is my instructions sort of or showcase of how to DIY your own truck shifter. If you're anything like me, I enjoy racing games with manual gearbox as well as driving Euro Truck Simulator with a manual gearbox because hey, what would else be the challenge? But anyways, the market shifters that you can buy is probably a bit less expensive than this solution. But if you're like the DUI solutions, it might be a fun project. Also, in my case, if you buy a shifter, it's very annoying to have the cord going down next to the side of the shifter. So what I've done here basically is that I've gotten a shifter or a gear knob from like a regular car store that sells car parts. Bought some electronic buttons that just drilled into it and then wired it up. So the idea is with this Logitech shifter is the G27 shifter. It probably works on the newer shifters as well. It might be a bit more difficult. I've looked into Mosan Fanatec shifters. It's probably doable, but you're probably most likely to destroy the shaft that you're going to drill into if it's not guided. So in the case of the Logitech shifter, since you screw on the shifter knob cap, the original one here, you have a guide for your drill. So what I've basically done here is that I use that as a guide and drill down here, and as you can see, it's a hole in here. So the wiring here in the shifter knob, and when it gets attached, the wire goes in here and out here. And if you're going to do this, don't be stupid like me and drill it out the back. Disassemble this, take this out, because you might be hampered from the back part here to be able to drill from this direction. You can actually remove this part and then you can mark the position where you want to drill, and preferably don't do like I did either and drill straight into it, like drill with an angle. It's a bit more difficult to drill that way probably, but it's gonna be a lot easier when you do the wiring. And when you take this apart, there is a spring with a metal ball here, that if you don't keep this together and like loosely, because it's I'm not gonna pick it out, but it's another spring that holds this together. If you just let everything go, that ball is gonna fly away. So just do it carefully over your desk. And if you had it for a while, you can actually clean the sensors as well. I had a problem with my reverse gear, where you press the gearbox down and put it into sixth gear. That didn't actually work for me. It failed, so I cleaned the sensors. There's one here and there's another one on the side here. I can barely see, you can see the wiring, but when I cleaned it worked a bit better. So what you do is you drill the hole, you mount this back, you take the wiring, and in my case the wiring goes out here. I didn't want the wire down here because I don't want the wires to like get tangled up. You could probably drill it a bit lower, and if you're careful you can take it out this way, but if you do that, make sure that the wiring doesn't get like tangled up or stretched when you put it in a forward more gear. That's the problem of going like on the inside. If you have too much wiring, it might actually get stuck somewhere. So in my case, I take the cable out here. You should do it in the back, because I've drilled a small hole here that actually gets covered when I put this on top here. So when I put that on top, you have the shifter and the wiring. You see, you can't really see it. And if you use soft wiring, it shouldn't be a problem either. I've used this for a couple of years, And the mistakes I'm pointing out is that, like with the wiring, you should take it out in the front. It's one of those reasons. Another reason, or another thing you might want to do, is when the cable comes out of the hole, you need something that at least makes sure that the wiring is protected from the metal. Because in one case I had the wiring being scratched by the edge here, which made that some part of the wiring made contact with the metal and made the circuit like it freaked out and it didn't work. So I had to replace the wiring. And if you do this, be careful with the drill dimension. Make sure the cable isn't damaged when you pull it through, and make sure that you like measure the connections so that it actually works, because you don't want to like redo it. It's not that hard. It takes a couple of minutes to like get everything apart, but it's a tedious process, I'd say. It's not the fun part in the project. So what else did I do? I put the wiring goes like it's coming down here. It's going through the hole here and into this area right here, and goes out and goes through. I'll just do it like that. Basically it goes this way, and I've drilled a hole here, and then it comes out and connects to this junction point. A probably more suitable idea, since I'm using well, you can't really see it now. I'm not gonna take it apart because I don't have any like good editing software. But anyway, it's basically a small I always pronounce it Arduino computer, which is configured to be act like a 32 buttons box. This is not a brilliant idea, to be honest. If I would do this again, this circuit board is pretty small, so it would probably fit here somewhere. Then you could just use the USB connection directly into this. So what you would do is that you would connect it up in here instead. But you could do like I did and just wire it up with a connection point, and then you have like, well, this cable can go as far as basically as you want or buy, or anyway. And you put it into the microcomputer, which you connect to the computer, and when I flick the switches, it will actually work. So why do this instead of just buying the truck shifter? Well, in my case, I still maintain the feel of having a car shifter. So and I have the functionality of the truck shifter. So I have high and low and the split functions, not necessarily on these buttons. You can configure them as you want in the game. But I still have the feel of a car shifter if I want to play a racing game. And that's what I'm looking for, as well as you have the wiring internally. Sure, you have the extra cable, but you'll have that on the other shifter. But considering that I mounted this to next to my chair, so I actually have it mounted to my side and not on my desk, this is not much of an issue for me. I most likely never will see the wiring. This will probably work on the other Logitech shifters as well, but I think the G27 is the best option for doing this. And I have an idea that I would mount like a ignition key or something, because I have 4 wires that I can use that goes to the computer here, so I could use an additional switch if I wanted to, but that's basically it. You just put the parts back together again and put it into your computer, configure what simulator you want to drive, and then you're up and running. Hope this was helpful for you, and if you have any questions, you can just put them in comments. Well, have a nice day. Bye.